Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Heads Will Roll Reforged, episode number 7, I think. And here we are after a pretty tycoonish last segment that didn't have a whole lot of combat, just with the wolves. And, I mean, I guess the two bandits too, but those were so easy. We're left with this decision with Duncan and somebody else, and the general sentiment in the collective choose our own adventure response has been not to accept this agreement, to not agree. Now, I don't know what again, I've never done this. Anyways, because there was a general sentiment not to agree, and I've been told, at least that in the last episode, when I went at night, that the better thing to do would be stay at the inn. That's fine, we'll choose the wrong thing and live with the consequences. Again, we don't always know what those consequences will be, but let's not agree. There's one thing I've learned during my time in the Royal Army, it's that the sweeter the speeches you hear, the stinkier the poop you're offered to dive into. Give Duncan my best regards. Well, then when the loan sharks come to your house in a couple months to take everything of value from you and throw you on the street, remember this conversation, says Rodolfo. Yeah, and I actually think that we're okay with it, since I watched this whole video. I watched my home videos from start to finish because I edit them, so even I watched them probably multiple times to make the changes necessary and the cuts necessary. I got the sense, by the way, in my last video, it wasn't really, I cut a ton of crap, but I got the sense that it wasn't as thrilling as it could be, because I guess I'm looking forward to returning to the good stuff. One thing we could be doing in hindsight is selling more. I think that the blacksmith's quests really are lucrative and probably worth doing. Getting this one, though, is going to require going to the trade and landing upon, just getting lucky with some armor. Not mail stockings, oh, there we go. Limb coverage of 30. Crap. I'm pretty sure that this is not good enough. In fact, even our padded cuirass is only 45, and I think we need higher than that. Yeah, this is 30. Mail armor itself is 40, so 40 is fine. 30, I don't know what 40 and 30 will end up being. Is it worth trying? I think so, and this is why I think so. It's not too much of a loss in money. And by the way, somebody mentioned that if it's useful in crafting, that means that it can be combined, but I just don't know how exactly to know which layers are which. We can also sell some things here. I forgot about this, but the sergeant's scabbard can go away. The scimitar can go away. I didn't realize we even had these things on us, but we do. This is so inexpensive, you'd almost think that it might be worth not using. I have never done the throwing knife stuff. Never. But this does seem pretty good, except that it wastes the whole turn. You know what? I'm just going to sell this. Maybe one day we'll do Poison Dagger run, but that day is not today. This is not the run for that. Okay, so then what I can do is pick up the leather armor. It may be a loss in the end, but we'll get this at 65. We have mail armor already. We'll see if the two together end up being sufficient. My skill as a blacksmith is pretty high, which is the only hope. We may also want to make some medicine, and medicine can be done with healing herbs in a canteen. I didn't really know what to do with those canteens. Why not craft with them? Seems like a good idea. So let's go ahead and make sure that my other stuff is equipped. We can get rid of these boots now. I mean, I don't know if I'll get rid of them. We may want them in the future. But for now, let's go back to our chest and get the working gloves. We'll equip those as well. Put the leather boots down, I suppose. We also want... with the inventory space I have, I might as well pick up the cloth and all that. We may want to make something else and then sell it. Yeah, we have mail armor here and mail armor here. That's really reassuring. So I'm not even wasting mail armor by using the one that I have with the leather armor. We'll see how it turns out, though. Okay, so let's go to inventory, equip this. Yeah, good. Those little things kind of... hopefully they're not... waste too much time. Okay, so now what are we looking at here? 98, it needs to be 100%. I forgot about that. And this limb coverage is only 46. So we need the gambeson. That's the moral of the story, is we need the gambeson. Now, this is not bad armor anyway. But I think we want the mail armor because it does have high torso coverage and reasonably high limb coverage. So I think we need to keep the mail armor and combine that with the gambeson to get the results desired. For now, because our chest is empty enough, I'll put the leather armor down there. Okay, so let's go back and, I mean, I guess we can do the canteen to get our, the other things. So canteen, character, inventory, canteen. Get one of those, unequip. Go and craft. Let's craft healing plus canteen. Gives us medicine. I think it's worth keeping at least one of these, and there we go. Luckily, we got 2 of them. Okay, let me pick up the one with the cloth skin. Let's make the bag and just sell a bunch of bags for money. And we're not going to use the crafting screen because, well, I guess we already paid the money for it, right? So, if I can find where it is. Craftsman, take an order. No new orders, okay. Blacksmith, take a new order. No new orders. Okay, and then alchemist shop, we never set it up. We're absolutely not going to. Look for a job. Okay, non-suitable. Yeah, there's really nothing to do. We're out of options but to train and to sell stuff. So let's go to the crafting, and we can just make this then. Cloth. Wow, okay. And let me not guess it incorrectly. 3 and 3. All right, no, not bad. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Give me luck. Good. We got 2 of them. Let's just go sell them. So that'll clean up a little bit of space. We can sell the extra wooden shield. Tower shield, that's nice. Guess we should take a look at what we have here. We're looking for a gambeson. Please, my kingdom for a gambeson. Alright, 2 sacks for 30 each. That's not a whole lot. Is that better than selling them individual? Even the 60. I mean, because look at, this is 4 and this is... Okay, the cloth is 1. I guess that tilts the advantage severely in the sack's favor. I think we'll just get rid of both of them. And look at that. We have enough money at this point to pay for whatever. We have an additional water skin, which I can actually tuck into our belt, since now we only have 1 canteen and then a bunch of water skins. It's fine. 1 cloth, 1 leather, 1 poisonous plant, which we can also sell. I don't plan to do anything with those. I guess we could have done the alchemical route, alchemist route, and then we would have had some use for that. But as it is, I don't think so. Yeah, nothing really useful here. Tower shield is always fun to have. Gosh, it's so good. 250. Huge stat penalties, though. Anyway, we're sitting okay. Good enough. With an additional mail armor. I mean, I could re-roll, but... Wait. I haven't found out that you regularly peddle various goods without a license to conduct trading activities in the town. The Mesos authorities require you to immediately purchase such a license, as well as pay a fine. What the hell? Okay, so I mean, this is the point of the game, obviously. It is supposed to be that way. Nonetheless, what's our current value at? 908. I feel like they're trying to make us have less than 1,000. Let's see if we can just find a gambeson. Come on, gambeson. No. I mean, there's still some stuff we can sell to get there. Mostly I'm looking at the mail armor, which I really don't want to sell. What else do we have on us? I mean, I guess I could go crazy and just make leather armor plus fold for some ridiculous armor. If I had an Aventail, I could also go with that. Knight's chain is... What did I put in there? Oh, the boots. The Knight's chain is also worth a fair amount. I kind of hate to sell it, but it's worth 150. The Oath. If only the Oath was worth selling. Flagrum. I'm not even sure we'll be able to use this again. Frankly, I'm not sure it's ever going to be worth it. In fact, I think that... we should sell it. I think we should sell the Flagrum. We need the money more, and even the Plague Mask. Are we ever gonna... It's so much money, too. Are we gonna encounter anyone with poison? Even if we encounter somebody with poison, we're better off, I think, just dealing with the... Like, not having injuries and going with Antidote. Alright, look at, I'm making some big decisions here. We're finally going to be shuffling our trinkets. So I'm selling the Flagrum, selling the Plague Mask so that we have enough to pay our debts. Let's do that. Hopefully we see in here, I doubt it, a gambeson. It happened! Oh, perfect. We'll definitely take that. So who would have thought that that would be like the most valuable object to us? And then we'll combine those. Let's hope that that works for armor. We're selling the flagrum. We're selling the plague mask. We're back up to over 1,000. Yes, we can make our payment. All right, that's something. And now let's go to crafting. Please check that our inventory. Good. Please, please, please. 100%. 15. Uh-oh. Is that high enough? And limb coverage is 58. 15 for armor and 58 for coverage. I need to just print screen this. 15. Oh my gosh, is it 9? Is it 9? It's 10! It's perfect! 248, let's craft it. And hope to God that this works. Because I'm not 1,000... I feel like it's always dicey when you're giving the bare minimum. It worked. Okay, good. So that should be enough money that we're in great shape. Okay, I think we're in good shape. We have equipped the 4-leaf clover. I don't know why, but I just decided to put that on instead of anything else. The Templar's Medallion, which I think that just makes a whole lot of sense to have. Let me also get out of the chest the Butcher's Blade. And then we're just leaving some items behind that I don't think we're going to need, including the leather boots. We'll use these for maybe scavenging in the next chapter. I kept the leather armor, although honestly the gambeson is so superior, I feel like it's not even worth taking. That the gambeson is just... It's just outright better. But, you know, we'll never know. We don't know that exactly until... Well, I mean, until we see what are the items we need to craft next for blacksmithing. In the meantime, we have a very, very little amount of time left. I think what we'll do is increase our endurance and our... Well, shoot, our weapon skill. How much money do we have? 1366. So let's say that we can spend 300, which means that this should be fine. Let's train. And then we can do one other thing. I'm going to do endurance. Oh, wait. Well, maybe we should just rest with the loot? No. Let's do one visit. Not to the brawl. Brothel, sorry. Bathhouse. I don't have enough time left. I hate that. I hate that so much. We sold our flagrum. We don't even have an option to do that. We could drink. We could drink. We can drink some, and that's going to help us. Yeah, that's the solution here, I think. We'll unequip this, and we have to drink it. Virtue only decreased by 3. And reputation went up. Okay, then we can play the loot once to get us down to something better. Okay. Woo! Now, this also frees up an inventory spot. We can't reduce poison, but that's probably not going to be an issue. Let me unequip the canteen and then... Oh. Do we not have any other drinks? Yeah, we don't. Okay, that's good to know. I have to be a little bit careful about that. I'll put the antidote in and then the canteen. So we have an extra antidote. I mean, just because it's being stored here anyway. Chest is going to end up having 3 extra spots. Is there anything I can put in there? Perhaps the Knight's Chain? I don't know. I guess we're probably not going to use the Butcher's Blade. Let me put that back. And maybe 1 medicine back. Okay, the medicine I think we'll take with us. We're just good to go. Let's proceed. I have no idea what's going to happen. We can pay all of our fees, though. Our character is currently sitting at 1330, which is a lot. Should be enough. The week is coming to an end, which means it's time to pay the bills and settle accounts with the creditors. Rent for your house, 300. Your debt to the loan shark is 675. You have successfully paid off your debt, and now you can live in peace. Yes! Hooray! And that was the biggest debt, honestly. I'm 125%. Nobody even commented about this in the comment section. Come on, people! How were you not falling out of your chairs when you realized that this is like... I didn't do the math on it, but... It's like 5 to the 52nd power, right? 125 to the 52nd power? 1.25. It's a lot of interest. It may not be 1,000, because that would be like 10? No, it probably is. I don't know. Let me just... I'm not sure if this is done correctly, but let me 1, 235, and 52. Oh my god, what the hell? What? It can't be right. It's 1,000,000% interest? What? I just must not have done that math right. Chapter 4, Interbellum, Week 2. Alright, so quest-wise, we still have this guy Ruffin, and we have Rent, which is only 300. Character currently has 350, so as long as we don't go negative in cash from here, which is pretty unlikely, I think, then we should be good. Virtue was down a little bit because we had to find ways to make ends meet for the fatigue, but honestly, we're not even that fatigued, and I think the first order of business is probably just to keep training to improve our skills. I guess the other thing we could do is perhaps there are more jobs. Let's look for a... train first. Let's look for a job. As rumors about your military experience continue to spread further around, more potential employees are starting to take an interest in you. Another job offer comes to you from an owner of one of the Maidstone Inns, a well-known establishment in the area which is universally popular and located on the outskirts of the town by the high road leading from Dover to London and further north. The convenient location near the pulsating commercial artery, as it is not difficult to guess, provided the inn with a stable flow of customers. The establishment was almost always packed, but there have always been some problems with the quality of the clientele. For every 3 honest hard workers or traveling merchants who stopped by for a drink, there was consistently at least one escaped convict, a rogue always ready to grab a knife, a raging drunkard, a bully looking for a fight, or even worse, a whole company of such characters. Bloody stabbings and brutal beatings were literally a daily occurrence in the house by the road, the name by which the inn was known throughout the area. Given that, the establishment has always needed good security capable of maintaining order and harshly punishing its violators, but at the same time staying reasonable and not turning the inn into a gladiatorial arena from which the losers are carried out feet first. Now the innkeeper is looking for a replacement for one of the bouncers, who beat to death several rowdy drunkards and created even more notoriety for the establishment, which hasn't exactly enjoyed the best reputation already. Considering that you are a man with military experience, this job should be fitting for you, if, of course, you are ready to follow the rules and act strictly with non-lethal methods. We'll definitely agree, but I think we should go pick up ourselves some kind of... So this suited us. Delighted with your consent, the innkeeper promises you a decent wage after each shift and offers to start next Monday. Bouncer job. The bouncer's task is to neutralize troublemakers using only non-lethal methods of influence. Unprovoked murders are a violation of law and can lead to various punishments, including arrest and imprisonment or even execution. There are several ways to neutralize opponents. Stun him, fully exhaust him, to cause him 3 or more traumas, to bring his health down to 10%, or lower, but not less than 1% of its maximum value. The bouncer's weapon is a club. Bouncers are allowed to carry other weapons, but the use of any lethal weapon is prohibited by the owner of the establishment and may lead to dismissal. Do we get a club? A bouncer is forbidden to wear metal armor with the exception of chainmail hidden under his clothes. Okay, well we get this. Oh, well, I have just the thing for us. Remember that leather armor? Now, metal armor. I guess we have to unequip a lot of stuff. This is leather, so that should be fine. Put that on. Unequip. Unequip. This is kind of a cool thing that they're doing here. I really like it. Are we allowed to use a shield? I don't know. Okay, so for this, I also think agility is going to be very important for dodging. I mean, our stat penalties are going to be pretty low. The funny thing is, our stat penalty from the leather armor is going to be higher than our elite armor. So it says we could wear chainmail, but I guess under clothes, but I don't know what that means. Okay, let's just see what does it tell us a little bit more here? One of the main sense offer you a job. I wish that they would explain in this exactly what that meant. But I'm pretty excited about this. Let's just train a little bit first. I mean, we're already at the limits of this. So we'll do some resting, some playing of the lute. One more. Could just go now. Or we could train one more time. I think training one more time would be good. And then maybe agility? So that we dodge. That's kind of like my view on it right now. Still going to go with the loot to avoid spending money. And we'll go in a little fatigued. Because we're going to have to do a lot of waiting. This might be a long fight, because if one of the options is to fatigue people, or to get them down to 10% of their health, below 10% of their health, I think that fatiguing somebody completely would be fine. I don't remember any of the other conditions. I should have just print screened the page. It would be very helpful if they would provide a little more information. Anyway, let's go ahead and travel. Oh, okay. Okay, so good. They'll tell us exactly what we can and can't do. So let me put this mail armor on instead, since it would be better. Really, despite what they said, I don't think it's true. Alright, so this should work then. We're pretty much down to exactly what they said. Put the mail armor down as well. I feel like actually it'd be nice to have in a pinch. And the shield too. Good, we have that. 14 spots available. Okay, let's do it. Surely now you will let me go. Okay, great. The first day of the job goes pretty smoothly. There are no particularly violent drunkards, and for those who still start to mess around, shouting turns out to be just enough for them to immediately calm down. By lunch you are already confident enough, and by dinner you feel like a fish in the water. The only serious issue is the unusual abundance of alcohol nearby, which becomes quite alluring. However, your moral principles are strong enough to overcome such temptations. Yes. By the evening, a noisy company of about half a dozen rowdy types who do not behave themselves particularly well, even when sober, waltzes into the inn. As their volume of consumed ale increases, the problems they create snowball. The company brazenly gropes waitresses, throws leftovers at other customers, breaks dishes, and in the end refuses to pay at all. Making a last attempt to reason with brawlers, the innkeeper comes out to the company and immediately gets hit on the head with a stool. You're stepping in. Okay, they're equipped with stools. Now, we can exhaust them. This is funny, because I don't know why now I have this 4-leaf clover equipped. Anyway, let's go to a defensive stance, and I think that we'll just attack their limbs a whole bunch. That's, I assume, the way to go here. Weapon skill 5, weapon skill 7. These guys are almost surely not going to be able to... Wait. Deals no attack damage, but has high chance of inflicting an injury. Oh, it's perfect! It's perfect! It's perfect. It's like the guy who made this game knew what he was doing by giving us this. Let's respite. We're like basically impossible for these guys to hit. I say that, I hold my breath anyway. But with that, this is good. We'll have a nice chance to see. Swinging at the neck, that's just like, go for it, guys. They're going to fatigue themselves out anyway. But let's go ahead and attack this guy with the Bone Crusher. Okay, that's 2. I think a third one and he's out, right? It's cool that they're all drunk too. I mean, this is kind of cool. I have to say I'm enjoying myself here. Do a recovery. We know we don't have any fear of being hit. In fact, the back guy would have been better to go for, since he's much easier to, much more difficult to fatigue out. Anyways, this first guy's really working himself out too. But let's just see what happens when we give him a third injury. And keep working on my respite tokens to slowly lower my fatigue. Looks like I could have gone into this battle with even more fatigue. But this is cool. This is fun for me. Let's do one last one. No, I guess that was a failure for 90%. But we still hit them, we still get our respite tokens. I don't know if we even need to... I probably can control to speed through this. It doesn't seem like it's necessary for us to actually even see. They just don't have any chance of doing anything. This guy's finally winded. I may just try to go for the first guy a whole bunch. Even the new guy who steps in after this. Is this guy wearing armor? Oh, a gambeson. Please let me have the gambeson. He's wearing a cross! You are not behaving very nicely for a person wearing a cross, my friend. Although I guess that's not saying much. There's been plenty of hypocrites throughout history. Let's try this again. Another time it didn't do anything. Okay, recover. Speed through that. We'll do another recovery. Let's respite. Okay. What's the deal here? Can we please... What's the deal? Deals no attack damage, has high chance of inflicting injury. Full block by armor 30%. So not blocked by armor, 2 hits. We failed 2 90% rolls. Excuse me? A 1% chance of happening? My luck can't be that bad. There must be a limit, right? And we failed a 60%? I mean, this guy is not going to hurt anybody ever at this point. But I'm still very curious what is going on. Let's try it again. 3 injuries. It said 3 injuries, right? Am I crazy? Okay, try it again. Oh, I gotta recover first. Respite. Alright, why don't we go with this guy and just fatigue him, which we can do by overhead striking his limbs. 14 fatigue, this guy's on his last legs. I mean, it should have gone the other way around, we all know that. I know that, you know that, everyone knows that. But this is where we arrived. Okay, let's smash his limbs. He's almost out. Just we'll do one more thing. I dare ya. Do one more thing. I'll respite in the meantime. Okay, he's gone. Good. Let's try it with this guy as well. He'll probably just end up going away if we don't land this. There's another one. Oh, this guy has a wooden club. But weapon skill of 5 means basically he's never going to land a hit on us. And I shouldn't do control after I hit them. I didn't... No, this guy's about to go away anyway. Oh, wait. He's using a shield as a stool. That's kind of funny. We'll do another respite. Let's see what they're doing here. This guy's basically one hit away from just going away. I really want to... I just want to try it to see if we can make them go away this way. No. We have one more chance. He did a check feint. Can we even hit? I think we can. These guys are so weak. 100%. We have one more chance. I need to recover. Wait, please don't attack me. Please, no! Beaten down. Okay, well. Alright, well, we know the way we're going to do it from here on in then. We're just going to have to do it by fatigue. Which is fine. I inflict a little bit of health damage on them. That kind of makes me sad. It's satisfying to give these guys something to think about when they wake up. Respite. He's not in great shape. Okay. Another respite. We don't want to go too many more, though. Okay. Let's do overhead strike to the limbs. 85% chance of getting through. It did. This guy actually has pretty good stamina, too. Respite. Recover. Just kind of need to wait for him to finish wearing himself out, honestly. Could do a bone crusher. Will maybe help. Broke his leg. Maybe we can try it against this guy. See what happens. Recover. Respite. Oh. Okay. I held control to... This is the downside. I kind of live with the consequences here. I don't know if I need to hit control to speed through those fights, but unfortunately we don't see the results of it. What I can do is go to my inventory and see that we probably got paid. That's unfortunate. Well, I wish there was maybe a different way. Like I said, if there was a way of speeding up the combat by 2x and having a log, that would be fantastic. So we can go back and do that again, and the only downside is that I think our character is a little fatigued. Oh, it's at 3. Perfect. So let's go ahead and train. And I think endurance and agility are the way to go still. Let's train. We're up to 31, which is great. I want to go back to that tavern. Let's rest a little bit here. Can we get in one more training for endurance? We can. We're completely fatigued. I'm going to do one playing of the lute. Maybe one more. Is that tired? What are we at? I'm going to try to risk it here. I'm gambling a little bit. We're at tied 3. Let's go. Let's go back. Your second day of the job starts just like the first one without an incident. Closer to lunch, one of the gloomy regulars at the establishment overdoes it with wine and begins to molest the waitresses. You reprimand him. Seeing that messing with the bouncer is not the best idea, the regular calms down and soon leaves the tavern. After a few hours of quiet, a visiting knight ends up with being a new source of problems as he also overdoes it with the alcohol and now refuses to pay. Ignoring the waitresses, reminding him about the money, and rudely pushing the visitors away, the knight unsteadily heads for the exit. In a last attempt to reason with him, you block his path and remind him that he must pay up. After stating that he forgives everyone he owes, the knight tries to push you out of the way as well. When you refuse to let him leave, he grabs the hilt of his sword. Alright, well, this is, I guess, easy enough. What we'd like to do, Drunk Knight, it's weapon skill 14, but I think that Bone Crusher here is going to be useful just to set us up for a quick defeat. Only 51%, you say. Well, what if we go to offensive and just try any kind of attack? 71% chance to land on the body. Let's try it. Good. Actually, that's... Despite what that looks like, it's what I wanted. So now we can at least respite once, which is a win overall because an attack costs us 8 stamina, but respite gets us back a lot more. I can respite to get 19 back. Very good. Unfortunately, his feint is actually making the whole matter a lot worse, but he's used a little bit of stamina. It should be easier to hit. Not too much, though. Let's go for an offensive Bone Crusher. 67, 77. I really need to make sure we hit. Let's just make sure we hit. We're still reducing his stamina, too, so that's good. Again, just another respite here. I'm not going to use control in this fight, so we'll just have to let it happen. This guy's swinging a knightly sword. We're kind of playing with fire. Especially in the offensive stance, but I think we'll be alright. Up to 100%. Very good. So let's do a Bone Crusher. 75% chance to get by his nobleman's armor. Too bad we can't take their stuff afterwards. But this will be a hit. And we cut his arm muscles. So now it's just impossible for him to hit us at all. And we can do a recovery, and then start our stamina reductions campaign. If you want, you can skip forward in this fight. I think it's already a victory. I'm still going to play it out on camera. And my goal is, it's pretty simple. We're going to try to use this as a mechanism of getting rest. And I think that we've earned it, right? We played intelligently enough. Might as well play intelligently. So you can skip forward just knowing that Tortuga's doing something to make the character a little bit stronger. Otherwise, you can stick it out with me. Probably another Bone Crusher, I think. I still want to see if maybe we can do 3 to get it done. Unfortunately, I also don't want to get it done so quickly that I miss out on chances to get more fatigue recovery. Let's try one more. Yeah, he's going to fatigue himself out at this rate. But I'm not going to hit control just so we can see everything. Let's try one more attack. Oh, no, let's do a strike on the limbs. More fatigue. He's recovering. Attack again on the limbs. Good. He'll recover. Let's recover. Oh, he used ale. He wasn't drunk already? Would have thought he was, but anyways, I guess that just buys us more time to respite. And then we'll probably do another hit, maybe a bone crusher, so he lost 2. I guess we don't want to try that. Yeah, exactly. We don't want to try that too quickly. I don't know what kind of reputation loss we could even suffer, since we don't have any soldier reputation. I think I'll just try battering his limbs. Although he is tired. Be a little bit careful about this. I just want to do that so we aren't like completely inactive. We use the last 2 spite tokens. Yeah, and he's on his last legs, so we're really gonna just wear him out, I guess. He missed his check feint, thankfully. We need to do attacks that 11. Let's do an overhead strike. 30% chance of getting through his neck, which would probably not kill him with only damage of 9. I guess we'll just do the limbs. Maybe I should do the body. Only a 20% chance. So what am I trying to do right now? What am I trying to accomplish? I'm trying to buy time to respite more. And this is just interesting because I don't want to kill him. I don't want him to be completely fatigued. He has about 40 more, which should be a few more swings at me. Especially, it's a one-handed sword. It shouldn't be too fatiguing. A hit to the body with 2 hands. Should not do too much damage. And yeah, let's just try it. Hopefully it hits the armor. That's actually perfect. It still does some stamina, so it actually buys us a little bit of time, but not much. We'll do our respites. Good, so his recovery was actually perfect to buy us a little bit more time. Cripple limbs. Okay, and we're gonna continue to do... Oh, any hit on him at all is going to be... Yeah, we might as well just not do anything then. We'll just do a recovery. Since he'll just, as soon as he swings, he's going to fatigue himself. Again, we'll just do this. And that's it. Having pacified the night, you finish the rest of the day in peace. So 150 florins received. Okay, good. So we probably received 150 last time as well. And I just didn't notice that. So we're up to 516. Really? Weren't we at 400 last time? Right, we were, but we trained, and that cost money. And the only thing we have to pay is the rent. Honestly, we're kind of in condition to just do the next thing. I feel like we're not really getting enough out of the training part of this. I mean, I guess we have got our weapon skill, melee weapon skill, up to 31, which is good. Endurance is up to 35. That's also good. Coordination's not terrible. Agility I wish was higher. I think that mostly being able to hit people is going to be very important, so I would not mind doing another training with Coach and then maybe spending some of our valuable money to just use the bathhouse to be prepared. Actually, I can't, it doesn't even work. I didn't try anything else either. Do we want to look for any other jobs? I mean, I don't know how much time this takes, but so we're in between the I and the M right now. Our character is fatigued, but not awful. What I think we'll do is we'll train one more thing. Let's do in agility or strength. I think even strength might be more important at this particular point. Heaviness of injuries, inventory size is also nice, but that probably won't kick in until we get to 33. Whereas chance to hit and dodge chance are both affected by agility. Let's do that. And that did take a fair amount of time. Let's go back and work our next day. Just because I think it'll be interesting to do. And we'll see how much time this eats up. I guess it eats up a whole day, so probably a lot. But the third day by tradition starts in quiet, but this calm does not last long. Around noon, a whole horde of soldiers from the detachment of some local lord barges into the tavern, noisy and always cackling. They gradually fill the whole place with chaos, although, in general, they behave within the bounds of decency. The real trouble begins sometime later, when another group of soldiers from the Maidstone town guard is slowly gathering in the tavern. There is clearly some history between these two groups, and judging by the mutual causticity and hostility, it is far from pleasant. When the amount of alcohol consumed with both sides crosses a critical mark, a disorderly brawl ensues. Now, whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that we didn't stop this earlier? You know, I have to think that this could have been stopped earlier. And by the way, did I need the 4-leaf clover? Absolutely not. There's no extra loot that we're gathering. Doesn't look like luck-related things are really matter here. So who has the higher 8 versus 6? I mean, neither of these guys have any chance of hitting us. I think that we'll go with the overhead strike because it is slightly more effective at fatigue recovery. I mean, we can get more fatigue back from respite this way. So let's do that at least until, let's see, by the way, did I pick the right target? 42 versus 3. I did. This guy is gonna fade away pretty quickly. And we don't need to worry about it. We know that we're gonna easily have enough I mean, it's impossible for them to hit us. And I like that. I like that we're just some awesome stool grab. You picked up a shield. We're just some awesome beefy guy. Even though the character here, Portrait, doesn't, but I mean, we're just a trained killer at this point. Putting us into this bouncer position, yeah, it works to our advantage. I think we can try. What is this? Stool is only 25% cover. I don't think we really need to worry about it. If we hit it, that's also fine. Yeah, we did not. We're actually doing a fair amount of damage to this guy. He's bleeding? Oh my. How will we end up bleeding him with a club? I feel like the club should have a really low chance of inflicting bleeding. Can you imagine getting hit by a club and bleeding? Oh, I mean, like a nick I could see, but like this is like somebody's bleeding to death type bleeding. Doesn't seem very likely to happen with the kind of club we got, unless it's like a split breaks and splinters or something. I don't know. 10% of this guy's health, by the way, is just under 6, so I don't want to go that route, but it's possible that we will. I have to say, I'm actually really happy that we chose to come in with a bunch of fatigue instead of spending that time in the main screen. No regrets with that. We're easily knocking down our fatigue. This poor guy. About to get walloped again. So does this Bone Crusher attack? I wonder if it does anything else, but let's just do another knock on the limbs. Okay, no bleed, and he's on his last limbs. Perfect. And once this guy gets knocked out as well, we'll get 4 more respite tokens. Don't want to mess with anything with him. He's definitely in kill range, which we don't want. Really don't want. I guess a normal attack on his limbs would probably be okay. But, I mean, just like one tiny misstep, a critical hit. Okay, so drains enemy stamina and builds up fatigue. Debuff is equal to 1/3 of your strength plus 5. That is a ton. So probably this ends up doing the job for us anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's only going to give us a 1 respite token, but that's still only 8 versus 17. And on top of that, I think that in every way... So this is 9, and it should be reduced. Alright, if I kill him, then we have a problem. Oh, it didn't kill him, but it didn't actually fatigue him either. Okay, now okay, once he recovers and tries to do whatever else, that should be it for him. We'll take our respite token. We'll probably recover at this point as well. Which is what everyone's going to do. And you know what, we can also just switch over to the other guy to buy us a little bit of time while he's there doing that. It's funny that the last action he does before he's eliminated is actually him attacking is what incapacitates him. It's not a blow from us. It's a little bit weird, but you know, we're playing by the game's rules, and I think that's fine. All right, so we'll use our 3 respite tokens. Get that down. We're actually down to fresh now, which is great because we don't know what happens at the end of the chapter, and we'll be better prepared for it. It may be another encounter with those Rodolfo and Duncan's folks. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't the last we heard of them. Alright, overhead strike seems really useful. More respite tokens. We're going to get down to 0, no problem. I'm really happy to see those check feints missing as well. And once we get down to low enough fatigue, we can go more like aggressively towards, like this first guy, he's 38, 126, he was probably around 32? 42, 42, okay, well, let's help him along. I think we should actually be using the first one though, because it does more fatigue damage. I'm just reading from that label. The overhead strike is more like hit point damage, which is not what we want. And especially now that we don't need to worry about the min-max of all the fatigue loss, I think we're in better shape. We can just go for the first bash, which will knock people out faster. Just do it more often. We'll have less respiting that we have to do. Do this one more time, and we'll go for it. This guy's already worn himself down to, ooh, a shield bash. Oh right, with his stool. All right, let's get this guy battered. Only 45%, but even that, it's like knocking away 15. He's on his last legs. We'll do a recovery here. And we're about to get more respite tokens when this guy goes away. I have to say, I'm still really enjoying this, although it's not difficult. This like new change of pace where we're the the bouncer. It's pretty funny. Is that it? No, one more. We can do it. Probably didn't need to do anything, but there he goes. He's not out. There he is. Alright, let's respite a little bit. In fact, we're down to 0 already. Oh, look at this. Sharp dagger. I mean, it shows him holding a dagger. I guess he is holding a sharp dagger. And leather cuirass. That would be very good for getting the 100% coverage. But it wouldn't give us any body coverage. So yeah, I don't think it's the right thing. I'm still thinking about the armor that we can potentially pick up. Now you're actually, so let's go with this guy and do the bone crusher. It's gonna make it impossible for him to hit us. Now we can recover, and then we'll go with the injury KO. I still don't understand how to do the injury KO, since it appears that there's never a third injury that we can inflict. Do we need another weapon to inflict that third injury? I don't know. I really don't. This guy's about to... Oh, we got the check feint against us. We'll go ahead and use that. Just to go ahead and respite some of that fatigue away. But this guy, let's go ahead and do the bone crusher again. Oh, broke his leg, so he's just... It's like impossible for him to do anything. For him to hit, for sure, but even for him to dodge. We'll do another recovery. This guy's wearing himself out very quickly. Maybe another recovery. And then another... Yeah, at least one, maybe two respites. I like this brawler thing, though. Okay, let's try this bone crusher again. It hit, and it didn't... I mean, it's a 90% chance to inflict an injury. I have to think that after you've inflicted these 2 injuries, the club just can't do anything else. It appears to be the case. So that's it. I mean, it's very damaging, so that's the good news, is you're going to make them useless. But at the same time, not getting a third injury, I don't know how you're supposed to knock him out this way. I really don't. I'm probably just not thinking of something. There's got to be a way, right? Alright, let's go back to the batter method. Just batter their limbs. It's going to be tons of damage. Oh, it actually, once again, caused him to bleed. Not really my intention. Keep going. Batter him into submission. 15, 7, and then another 7. He's tired. And bleeding, but that shouldn't be too much. Keep battering him into submission. 103. Got it. Oh, we beat him down. That's great. This guy's almost out. Oh, another one took his place. Okay, that means I have to use another respite and probably another recovery. That was the real dangerous one, the second guy, because he's... Well, what's his weapon skill of 9? I think we'll just go lay right into the attacks, let the first guy wear himself out, and start battering the second guy. We actually cut his arm muscles, not even intentionally. Alright, recover. Do another attack, and then probably one more respite. Yeah. Oh, he's bleeding. But because we're doing these hits on the limbs and that's such low hit point damage, it's not a big deal. This guy's almost out too. Love to see this though. Only 2 fatigue. We came into this with like 100 and something. So we burned back a fair amount. Alright, let's do the same thing here. 69 up to 87. So that's 18 in the end. This guy got knocked out. Let's see, how many more do we have? It looks like this guy might be the last one. We'll batter his limbs. 87 goes up to 105. So we're getting there. Use one respite to get us down to 0. It's great to see. And I guess we'll just operate on the two batters and then one respite policy. I don't think we'll even need to recover after this. 123. Oh, you actually... What did you do? You recovered some. Did you drink ale? You may have. It's going to change the dynamics of this a little bit. We might need to recover after all. Yeah, 123. Alright, let's do one more attack and then we'll do... we'll probably end up needing to do a recover. Getting pretty low. 141. Alright, let's respite. Down to 5. We'll recover. He's almost out. Taking a little bit longer, but that's okay. Okay, let's batter up. 168. Probably need one more of those, and then yeah, and then we'll do a respite, and that should be the last thing we need to do. Yeah, okay, so our respite here, probably the last thing we do. We'll be left with 2 fatigue. You know what? I am okay with that. I guess we can get down to 0. From like a min-max standpoint is the best thing we can do. Knocking out one brawler after another, you manage to stop the carnage and prevent the drunken soldiers from killing each other. But what you can't do is save the tavern from serious damage because during the fight, it ends up being literally turned upside down. I don't think that's the correct use of literally. The owner of the establishment, however, is not particularly discouraged, since, according to him, this is far from the first time when something similar happens in the house by the road. It will take around a week or a week and a half to eliminate the consequences, after which the tavern will open its doors again. After paying you for the shift, he informs you that he will let you know when you can return to work. Wait, what? 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 Let me screenshot this. Paint? Help me? I disagree. I don't think I should be having to pay for my shift. Okay. Did we lose or gain? I think that that's just a typo. Did we gain money? I feel like we gained money. As far as the time we spent there, also it was very little. Speaking of time, this is probably the time for this video to come to a close. But yeah, you know, I am encouraged by this episode versus the last one. We have just a smidge of time left where we can try to eke out something. First of all, we can put it back on all our armor. In fact, I'll do that off camera so you don't have to watch me rummaging through everything. But since we didn't pick up any items from that, which I was so diligently trying to save space for, didn't end up working out that way. Yeah, I'll just re-equip everything, get all that reset, so that we're ready to go for the next event, which I guess is us having to pay a small amount of money out of our interesting amount of money that we currently have. 666. Yeah, we'll save that for the next time. Until then, thanks for watching, and take care.